Good evening. My name is Young, and I am the instructor for CYBR class this semester. I just want to record this video to walk you guys over pre-assignment 3. So let me share my screen really quickly. I'm actually using YouTube Live to record this video, and this is my first time using this. So if anything isn't right, please bear with me. All right. What you see on the screen is the assignment pre-assignment 3. Okay. Now, all these SQL scripts are actually prepared by the university, and these SQL scripts were written mostly to run in SQL Server. SQL Server is a product created by Microsoft, right? And so it's a product. There are similar products created by different companies. We have Oracle, we have MySQL, um, which no longer around now. They know as MariaDB. You have MongoDB, you have Couchbase, you have Redis, you have a lot of different company now. But for the purpose of academia, we are focusing on traditional relational database system. And when it comes to traditional, some of the biggest one is Teradata, Oracle, SQL Server, right? And so if you want to, the school typically require you to either have SQL Server installed on your machine, or you have to have the SQL Server application on a virtual machine, and then you log on using that. I don't like those at all. They are very slow using it through virtual machine, and really there's no need to because there's so many things online nowadays. Just log on, use the available to online, and do your assignment. The purpose of pre-assignment 3 is just to expose you to SQL writing. Okay? So the first thing that it's basically asking you to do is to create a database. You have to make a database before you can create tables. Think of a car, right? Before you can actually put your friend into your car, you need to have a car first, but you have to purchase it from the dealership. Similar concept. To create table, you need to first have the database. So you have to make one. Okay? When you make one, all these SQL once again is optimized for SQL Server. If you simply copy and paste them into Oracle Live SQL, the tool that I recommend you to use for this assignment won't work. A lot of time the whole SQL language is really standardized. Regardless of the vendor you use, most of them will look similar. Some of them have different data types. For example, in SQL Server or here, it has data type money. Money is not a data type in Oracle, so if you try to execute the SQL query, it will throw a data type exception because money is not a data type that Oracle supports. Oracle does support double and float, so you can use double or float to replace this. And overall, right, just basically this whole assignment is just to get you create table, insert some data into the table, and then just get the data from the table. So you can see exactly how to make table, how to get data to the table, and how to get data out of the table. Right? So now for Oracle Live, when you first go in, it looks like this. If you just copy the SQL and you try to create database, right? You might run into some exceptions. So for example, for database Youngho, it said database failed, database already mounted. This is because Oracle already pre-create a whole bunch of database for you. Like all of these databases here are pre-created because once again this tool is free. They go ahead and make some databases so people can have these table and practice their SQL. A lot of people use these to practice the SQL to prepare for interview and whatnot. So I would recommend to make an account with Oracle. It's all free. I just made one earlier this morning just to go through the assignment again myself. Now, if you make it, right, then what happening is on the SQL tab, now you have about my schema, which means this is the default database that Oracle created for you. And because this database already created, you don't have to run the first two statements. The first statement is to make a database. The second statement is to make sure you use that database to create those tables. And so you don't have to get the first one. Now, if we start running this, then you can see it's throwing a bunch of exceptions. It said error at line number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no error, right? And these errors are really ambiguous. It sort of gives you an idea what the error is, but the location of the error is never accurate, right? So it's the same thing regardless of what tool you use. They all suck. You just have to know exactly what caused the error based on this ambiguous description that they have for identity. Now, SQL Server has the keyword identity to use as primary key. In Oracle, you don't have that and you don't need it. You just need the primary key here and everything will be taken care of. So that's all you need. And now if we run this again, oh, another exception say default. And all of these, this is the only default here. And I can let you know now the error here is the get day. So if we remove get day and just replace with this day, that should remove it. Still throw an exception. And this time it doesn't really make any sense because it still say we have default in the column. So let me see if I remove that. Now what happens? All right, give me invalid data type line 4. Once again, line 4, right? Very ambiguous, make no sense. There's no exception on line 4. Now, if you recall, I did say money. It's not a data type that Oracle supports, so you have to change this to either float or double, whatever you want to use. You would know if a data type is supported or not based on whether or not the IDE, this is an IDE, actually highlight the word for you. So all these data types are supported, so they highlight them in blue. If you use SQL Server, they would also highlight them in some color I don't remember. But now if you run this whole thing again, table successfully created, and you can see the table on the left here, right? So you can continue and try the next table and try all these insert statements. Just know that you probably will run into some data type exception or keyword where they don't recognize, and you just have to Google them, right? So just say Oracle SQL Server, what is the equivalent of identity or how to create primary key in Oracle. Now, if you don't want to do all of that, because the whole purpose of this assignment is just to get you used to writing SQL, you can write the exact same SQL query that I have in this YouTube video, okay, in this one that I provided, sorry. So, if you don't want to use the SQL query that the assignment asking you to use, that is completely fine. You can use the query that I have written in this video. But if you want to challenge yourself and just try to do some Googling, then definitely feel free to execute the SQL and just fix the error yourself so you get that experience. Okay? If you have any questions, just email me. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.